Good morning and good afternoon. We're going to get started in just 1 second. We have quite a few people joining us this morning, and we're really excited about the topics we're going to share. So hang on just a moment, and we'll be right back. Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon to some others. It's great to have you here today. This is Deep Target's Customer Success Webinar, and for August 17th, 2023. And I'm David Kingsbury, Head of Customer Success in many of our programs. And I have with me my famous sidekick, Helen. Helen, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Glad that you all have joined us today.
That's right. And I just noticed Helen just received a promotion this past week, and she's actually Vice President now. And so we're real proud for you, Helen. Great work, great effort. So we'll update the slide next time for you. Okay, so excellent. So today we're going to talk about the new release of Deep Target, and we're going to talk a little bit about industry metrics as well, because we've had some calls about that. But I can't be more excited about the new release because of what it's going to do to help you understand how your holistic campaigns are performing to all of your customers and members. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, this is going to be some major updates to the dashboard and to some of the reporting that you've already seen that's happened this year. And again, we'll talk about those industry metrics. And I put this up just to remind everybody about the engagement lifecycle, where up here in the top right, we are considering what we're going to deploy and studying how the results of what we've deployed, who we're going to identify and present valuable campaigns to, and then the communication that occurs. And then, of course, in the middle of that is all the data that's being utilized. So let's get going to our software updates today. And this gives you a rendering of what our dashboard used to look like up until, I believe the date was August 7th. If I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
And what has happened to it now, if you haven't seen your dashboard, jump in and check it out. You're actually going to see this new expanded view where today's stats is a broader display of actual stats today and some new, if you will, gadgets that will show your results. Our KPIs here, and we're going to talk about the details of those in just a second. But here's the one I'm really excited about. It's our new detailed view of your account type coverage. So let's take a look at each one of those individually. And by the way, Helen and I and the team spent a good bit of time creating this user experience. Helen, how do you think the whole overall look is?
Well, I really like it. And I think it's, as David mentioned, it's really going to give you a look just on this front page, so you don't have to do a deep dive into your reports to see what's going on your KPI. So I think that that's great. But also this detailed view is really going to sync up with your reports. And I think it's going to be good
That's
metric.
right. That's right. It's going to provide a whole level of deeper visibility in a real quick view. So that's what we're excited about. So let's go right into each one of them individually. And I'll speak to this one. It's pretty simple. Previously, we had a gauge for your impressions, but only a counter for clicks. We added 2 gauges. And again, you get if you will, the highest number in the past 7 days, I believe. And so you can see this particular instance is climbing quite nicely. This is your data freshness as usual. As you hover over it, it'll tell you how many days old. And of course, we always want everybody to be at an influx of new data every day. And then your campaign freshness. So once again, all of the green here would be awesome as you move forward. And just to remind you, you can always dive directly down into the system and find those 14 clicks at this very moment in time. Okay. So the next one is our performance metrics. So Helen, I'm going to let you speak to that initially.
Okay, well, just on this slide, I just want to mention, before on the old dashboard, we only displayed the key engagement indicator. So we didn't have the KMI, which is the second one. We did have that metric, but that was down in the management report. And we did not have this key revenue indicator, which is a new KPI that we have for you. So we're gonna take a deep dive in those. So let's talk about those a little bit more.
Perfect.
So your KEI, that tells you how many, what's the average number of unique users is it taken to get a click. So anything below 50, that means every 50th person is clicking on your ad. So in this particular instance, we're looking at 21 users, and that's outstanding. So this is an engagement metric. So it's showing you how your customers and members are engaging with your ads.
Awesome.
Okay.
Good.
And the next one is your KMI. This is your key impression indicator. So this is telling you how many, on average, how many unique users is it taking to open an account after having seen an impression of an ad. So this is directly, this is telling you, how effective are your ads in opening new products. So in this instance, we're seeing 45 users. So that's saying every 45th user for this particular customer is opening a new product. And now our third one we have is what we call our key revenue indicator, which is that third one. And what that does is that compares the revenue that you have has been influenced by Deep Target, your revenue. It compares it with your peer group. And so what that means is, we're not going to be comparing a $2 billion institution with a $100 million million institution. So people within your peer group, and you can see those asset value peer groups down there at the very bottom there. And so it's going to look at how much revenue you did last month, compare it to the other institutions in your peer group, and give you a ranking. So this particular one that you see here, it says 100%. So that means they're at the top of that peer group. So,
awesome.
So this is a great indicator.
Awesome. So this is a dramatic increase or improvement in your being able to see how you're performing. And I can't say enough about how important it is, just from a glance to see that you're green all the way across, but then to hover and see your results. And then, as Helen said, you can see the deeper dive in the management report for all three of these. Okay.
And David, I want to mention something else on this too. As you may remember, earlier in the year, I think it was around March timeframe, when we released an update to the application, we added an average revenue settings. So Deep Target put in some default settings for each account type, and those values are used to calculate your revenue. You can go in and adjust those, and we want you to go in and adjust those for your institution and what makes sense for you. What we put in were kind of industry averages, but you can change those. So I just wanted to let you know that, how all this correlates to what we've been kind of building up to this new metric.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, I'm really excited about how it all ties together. So you guys get real detailed visibility on your performance, and then how you can tweak it to improve it. Okay, great. All right. So the last one is the one that really excites me, and I'm going to let Helen talk to it again. But this is a change to what you guys had seen in the past, which was basically this. And Helen, I'll let you go ahead and start from here.
Okay. So previously, we always did like this, because this does give you a look at, what campaigns that you have running. And so it looked at your distribution of campaign types, but campaign types are linked to product codes. So let's say an auto loan links to a new auto and a used auto. A consumer loan could be different types of consumer loans. So we wanted to break that down and look at it by account types, because account type is where it is associated with product openings. So we switched this from campaign view to the next card, which we have. A new one is based on account types. So in Deep Target, when we get your data, you have your product codes, we map them into Deep Target account types. There are 17 available account types. Back in March, we added 3 new ones. We added personal line of credit, recreational vehicle, and commercial credit card. So not every institution offers all 17 types, So some of you may never reach 100% here. That's not the goal. The goal is to reach 100% within what you offer. So that's what this means. So this green is showing for each of those account types, consumer loan, credit card, and so on. That shows you how many campaigns are running for each of those that include those account types. So this shows you, shows you what you're advertising, but also what you may be missed opportunities.
Exactly. So the red is you're not going to get any influence conversions in these account types through Deep Target because you're not promoting it through Deep Target. Doesn't mean you're not promoting it elsewhere, but you're perhaps missing an opportunity by not promoting it here. And so this is an actual customer's display of their account type coverage, and at 76%, that's really awesome. So in fact, what you're going to see perhaps is, depending on if you guys are popping into your own accounts now, you're going to see a difference between green, yellow, and red, and that's literally just a fraction display of, for instance, this one at the bottom. There are, if you will, 6 account types covered, and therefore 11 uncovered. And so this customer is at 35%. It gets worse, in our opinion. Now, it may not be for your institution at this particular time, but here are only 4 account type coverages, meaning that 12 are uncovered. So you just need to be aware that you're missing opportunities to support, inform, and help your members and customers if you're not promoting where they are in your digital channels.
And I'd like to say one thing that's important here is you may be thinking, we only want to have deposits right now, or we only want to have loans. We need more loans. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be advertising other types of products. What you want to do is make all that available, but prioritize those ones that are most important to you, because those are the ones that are going to be seen first.
Exactly. And so there's methods to do things that are more optimal for your campaign coverage. So stick with us on that, and we'll help you through that as well. Okay, so that's awesome. So here's the connectivity all the way through, and what this means is when you have a good account type coverage, that's going to result in influence conversions that you will see very detailed inside of your growth grid, which we released earlier this spring, inside of your management report. It's the 3rd tab on your management report, which is when you export it, produce export, you're going to have 3 tabs, which is the first, the detailed on the KEIK, MI, and all your impressions and clicks. The 3rd tab is now your influence conversions detailed out. Here again in green and red, just like on the display on the dashboard for this published campaigns by account type card. And now you can see a result. And what I'm really excited about here is this particular customer of ours has 10 new account types covered, if you will, or 13 covered and 10 influence conversions, and resulted in July in 84 new accounts opened. So they, with this great coverage, resulted in some great new account opens in such a way that it generated, I'll say, certainly an amazing ROI, but also you ensured that you supported your customers or members. And remember, anytime you miss an opportunity, they're going to go to another institution, and you may not get them back for some time, right? Given that product that they engage with. So it's our way of really helping you guys visualize what's going on across your whole system and help optimize so that you can support and service your members and customers. Okay. So Helen, any thoughts on this?
Um, I don't have anything else to add there. On that, I think you covered that.
Perfect. Good, good. Okay. But Helen does have a couple other updates to share. Go ahead, Helen.
Yeah, okay. Also in the release there, we had some customer requests. So some of these that you saw as part of the dashboard, those were requested by customers, but also on the influence conversion report, when you export that, you can now see the current balance of the product that was open. So we've had some customers asking for that. So that's a default now. So you don't have to select it on your gear or anything, that's there. And then also on the campaigns list page, some customers had requested sorting option for what we can filter by 3D story campaigns. And for those of you who have that option, you can do that now.
Awesome. Good, good. Thank you, Helen. Perfect. And I wanted to go back to this one, if you will, question. What is the secret to engagement? And it's really reaching and informing all your users. And we talked about it last time at great deal. I just want to remind you, at any particular time, at least one of your members or customers is looking for at least one of your products right now. And reaching those individuals is your key to success. So it's our plea, if you will, to have a broad set of campaigns covering all your products. And this way you can ensure that you're fulfilling and meeting the needs of your members and customers. And this is really your goal as a true marketing professional, to make sure that you are reaching everyone that's in need and aware. You're not always going to win all of their business, but supporting them and providing them, letting them know that you have that product or service is paramount to the success of marketing. So as a reminder, we have a framework, if you will, that you could utilize. And we don't have it in part of the product. We've talked about how to do this, but this is the, if you will, the new account type coverage card is actually a representation of this, not quite as detailed as this, but certainly. And our recommendation last month was that you actually have that full coverage, and it could look like this. So just think about that as you're engaging and deploying your campaigns, and see if what we're providing helps you visualize it better, so that you have once again, a broad campaign coverage. Okay. Oh yeah, and the ultimate goal is to be all green. So we think the dashboard will help you see that, and within a second you'll be able to see the detail. And if you want, I'm sorry, you'll see the summary, and then if you want the details, you can drill down inside of DeepTarget and find all those details. So Helen, anything else to add to that?
No, what I would like to say is that, if you see any dials or anything that, or KPIs that look yellow or red, and you want to discuss that, and that's why we have our customer success reviews. We go over those things with you, and to help you, think of some strategies that you can kind of improve. So, we want to make sure that, you're reaching out to us. We're here to help.
Awesome. And also know that most all of these updates and improvements have been from you guys coming in and giving us ideas and making requests. So we like to obviously keep our ears wide open as you continue to give us ideas, but continue. Even though we're real excited about this release, we bet within literally a few weeks, you'll come up with some additional ideas of how we can support and show results, and even make the product better. Okay, so awesome. Thank you for that. So now let's talk about industry metrics for a minute. And literally, we're just going to talk about it for just a couple of minutes, because we get this, at least this question, very often from many of you guys. We know analytics are just bubbling to the top in every industry, but the real question comes down to, how are we performing against our peers in the industry? And so we've had several of you guys reach out and say, hey, really need to understand that. And the honest truth is the KRI is our first true peer metric, but it's based on the peers within Deep Target's community of customers. So it may have gone by pretty quick just a moment ago, but our key revenue indicator is actually going to place you into a peer group and let you know how you're performing against that peer group. And if you want to reach out and schedule time with Helen and her team, or even me, we can tell you. We can't share the details of the customers in that peer group, but we can definitely let you know, and the percentage gives you an indication of how you're performing. As Helen said, if you're at 100%, you're the top performer in that peer group, which will make you feel pretty good. Or if you're at 50%, or if you're at 25%, you know you're in the pack, middle of that group, or towards the bottom of that group. So that's an indicator on the revenue side, which is the ultimate, if you will, measurement of your performance. The other two, KEI and KMI, are key KPIs that reflect your performance, right, individually. But again, KRI is a peer metric. So the question ends up being coming down to how that we're getting it. How are our actual campaigns and account type results comparing to industry peers? For example, CDs have been hot all year, and some of our customers have reached out. Some of you guys have reached out and said, so how is our CD campaign comparing to others in the industry? Well, the reality there is that is really, really hard for us to say. There are so many variables included in that. So if we took your campaign with a particular CD for a period of some period of months at a particular rate, and who are you promoting that to, as opposed to then another FI that's doing a CD with a different set of months, with a different rate to a different demographic, you can see how that becomes harder and harder to measure. So for sure, we can tell you in our peer group, to some degree, how you're performing against others. And for instance, who had the most CDs opened in the month of July? That would be kind of interesting. And then maybe backtrack about that promotion. But across industry or outside the industry, it's very hard for us to figure out. But we're still investigating. We're still employing some other firms that do analytics across the financial industry. Our suggestion is reach out for us and let us see if we can assist you in that question and go from there. I think some of you guys have been getting questions from your board level or your C level about how you're performing against the industry. And we'd have to take that one off. It's not something that we can necessarily put in the product or put in a report at this time. So reach out to us and let us work with you to see if we can answer that for you. Okay. Anything else, Helen, on that one?
I think you covered it.
Okay, perfect. So we're constantly working on that. And we're real excited to see what you guys think of the KRI and how that's going to help you figure out how you're performing from a revenue perspective. Okay. So a couple of final notes. Be sure to check out your dashboard. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your comments. We got one already via chat that they love the new dashboard. And please consider a broad campaign plan. Incidentally, we're doing managed services. We offer that now. We'll run Deep Target for you, and we have quite a number of customers we're doing that for, and therefore we're implementing a broad campaign coverage plan. So we'll keep you posted on how powerful that is. And then consider all these added value capabilities when you're looking at your campaigns. Take a look at your campaign rotation timing. Remember, you can set the display time. Helen, I'll come back to you to add some color on this too in a second. Schedule your campaigns for future start and stops, which many of you guys do. Don't forget about detargeting. super powerful capability although you've got a number of members or customers identified to receive this campaign. If they don't engage, let's go ahead and turn it off after a period of time so that we're not wasting their time. And that's all included at the campaign level. And then automate emails so that you can send to engage people as soon as they click. And I was told recently, you know, well, if somebody clicks in the middle of the night, do you want them to get an email? Well, actually you do. You want them to know that you noticed it and that you're going to engage with them and help them if you can. And then finally, the big one, prioritize campaigns. So Helen, we were talking about it earlier about prioritizing your campaigns. Make sure you guys consider the most important campaigns to be displayed to your membership or customer community and prioritize them. And don't forget about prioritization. You can change it daily, weekly, monthly, that sort of thing. So Helen, over to you. Thoughts?
Yeah, just on that prioritize campaigns, you know, you don't want to prioritize everything. You may just have two things or one thing that's it's top of mind for your institution. So you want to make sure you've got that there. And that detargeting, as David said, that's very powerful. You know, if somebody's not engaging with that, you know, turn it off for a period of time, because, you know, other ads can come up for them. So, you know, you'll always have your priorities up there first, and then your other things that are in their stack can are going to switch out, you know, depending on, you know, what they qualify for and, you know, what you got detargeting. So that's important there. So,
awesome.
you know, we want to make sure you're using that.
Great. So important. And again, reach out to us, support at deeptarget.com. Helen's team can get on the phone with you and share how to do it and optimize it, and we're happy to do that. Okay. All right. Just a couple more things. We had a great, if you will, video interview happened this past week. It's with our CEO, Preetha Pulasani, and with Amanda Hollinger at Georgia United Credit Union. Just talking about what's important to Amanda and how it's DeepTarget's working for them. They've been a customer of ours about a year now, and being super successful, very progressive credit union, great group to work with, and very happy to share their results and so forth. As you can see, about 2,996 to be exact accounts were opened using DeepTarget since the start of the year. So amazing results, but super professional head of marketing there that you guys may want to connect with. Okay, so great. And then please visit and subscribe to our DeepTarget YouTube channel. This is where we're going to post all our videos, and we're excited about having them out there, and some other customer video interviews and so forth out there. So don't forget about that. It's always available to you. And now it's time for Java Joy, Helen.
Okay, let's see who's still on the line. Okay, let's see.
Everybody's still there. I see
Everybody's still on the line.
That's
okay.
Right.
Reaching in my hat. Okay, today's Java Joy winner is Pamela Huffer.
Hey, Pamela, great. Thank you for being here. So an added value, have a Starbucks coffee on us. Watch for an e-gift card. I'll shoot you an email here shortly. Anyway, so thank you guys so much for being a part of our webinar. Be sure to schedule a customer success review so we can work with you, optimize your system, help you understand the latest new capabilities at any time as well. And join us next month in September. We're going to look at Q4 campaign planning and ending the year super strong. And I'll just add, if you need some help managing your system, we have our managed services that we can help run the system for you as well. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Reach out to us at any time. And thank you, Helen, for being here as well.
Thanks, everybody. I'll see you next month.
That sounds great. All right, you guys have a great day, a great week, great month. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.